All right, welcome to the podcast of brotherly love. I'm just kidding. This is DB talking now, DB talking birds, DB talking Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome. Happy Thursday evening, everyone. We have a lot to get into, and we're gonna talk about a lot about the Philadelphia Eagles. What does the season outlook look like? What does the future look like? Is Jalen Hurts the future of the franchise? Is he not the future of the franchise? Is the bad offensive production due to bad play calling because of Nick Sirianni, or is it because of bad quarterback play by Jalen Hurts? And here's the thing. There's pros and cons to both arguments, and there's reasons to justify the sides of both arguments. And we're going to start with this. Look, guys, wide receivers get open in Nick Sirianni's offense. They do. They just do. Devontae Smith gets open all the time. Is Devontae Smith a stud? Yeah, Devontae Smith is a stud. Bequez Watkins is getting open all the time. Is Bequez Watkins turning into a stud? Yes, wide receiver Bequez Watkins is turning into a stud. And based on my opinion, I believe that he should be getting the ball a lot more. He should be a lot more involved in the offense. But is Jalen Hurts not using the middle of is Jalen Hurts not utilizing the middle of the field? Yeah, there's an argument for that too, because Jalen Hurts is not utilizing the middle of the field. You know, recently on Bleacher Report there was a passing graphic that was put out, and it mainly just showed, passes to the left, passes to the right, but it didn't just distinguish between passes to the left and passes to the right. It showed all of Jalen Hurts' passes. And there were green and red symbols on the left. There were green and red symbols on the right, but there were barely any green or red symbols in the middle. Now, here's the thing: is the absence of Zach Ertz and the final front runner emergence of Dallas Goedert going to turn Jalen Hurts into a superstar overnight, because they actually spent more time together working on the chemistry with one another than Zach Ertz and Jalen did in the offseason. Maybe is that going to turn Jalen Hurts into a superstar? Is it going to turn him into a hell of a lot more accurate quarterback? Because here's the thing: he is hell of a lot less accurate on the left side, throwing to his left, than he is to his right. And that is the one thing that passing graphic demonstrated to us. So, and that's an issue. Here's the thing. When you're a football fan, or when you're a GM, or when you're a football organization, you want your franchise quarterback to be accurate on all levels. Now, are you going to get that? Is he going to be 100% accurate all the time? No, because then we would have quarterbacks averaging at the end of the season 80%, 90%, instead of the high 60s. A high 60% completion, completion percentage at the end of the season is good. It's good. It's good for an Aaron Rodgers. That's good for a Tom Brady. That's good for a Patrick Mahomes. But here's the thing: Jalen Hurts isn't demonstrating consistency. He's not demonstrating consistency. Now, were there games this season where he showed the ability to be deadly accurate? Yeah, he has shown the ability to be deadly accurate. The last Eagles game against the Buccaneers, I mean, that pass in the red zone to Bequez Watkins on the 2-point conversion to his right on a short out route, that was absolutely phenomenal. That was deadly accurate. But again, it was to his right. It was to Jalen Hurts' right. But I don't want to nitpick at Jalen Hurts too much. I mean, we've all talked about it. We've all gone at length to it ad nauseum. And I do want to talk about Nick Sirianni. I think I want to talk about Nick Sirianni, and I think I want to talk about offensive coordinator Shane Steichen, because apparently there is this conundrum of conclusion that's being put out by fans and the like, trying to decipher what the problem might be, and blaming it on whether it's Nick Sirianni or whether it's Shane Steichen. Oh, Shane Steichen is the reason for why we're running so many screens, because a Chargers fan said this, and Shane Steichen is the former offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers. And Nick Sirianni doesn't want to run the ball because he doesn't believe in running the ball. Maybe that's not true at all. Maybe that's not true at all. Maybe it is, in fact, true that they believe from the organization, from the top down, that Jalen Hurts' best formula for success is to run the RPOs. Maybe that's true. You know, it's interesting because Jalen Hurts came out in his press conference this week and said, "I got to do better. I got to do a better job executing. I got to do a better job reading and executing the plays that are called." And wow, man, thank goodness, finally some honesty. You know, here's the thing: his cookie cutter, and I wouldn't say cookie cutter, but his attention grabbing quotes. You know, press conference after press conference, week in, week out, game in, game out, are only so fun to listen to after a while. You know what I mean? After a while, if you keep doing that with the sly smirk on your face, it just is going to seem like you don't care. The rent is due. The rent is due every day. Yeah, is the rent due every day, Jalen Hurts? Then why aren't you paying it? Why aren't you paying it? That's my question. Let me get back to Nick Sirianni in the run game real quick. I believe that Nick Sirianni wants to run the ball. It's possible, with the absence of Lane Johnson, that Nick Sirianni may not have thought that it was a good idea to run the ball. And let's be honest, Miles Sanders running the ball on first down, his yards per carry are high. It's true. However, you know, we get to like 2nd and 8. There's been a lot of 1 yard here, no gain there. 1 yard here, no gain there. And then we get away from it. And maybe it could have been because of the banged up line. Maybe it could have been because of the banged up line. Honestly, we hadn't had all of our starters on the offensive line out there since week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. So I believe it was Brandon Brooks went down first. Isaac Somali went down second. And Lane Johnson, Isaac Samalu and Lane Johnson, and then Lane Johnson has been out since week 3. But now that we got Lane Johnson coming back, and bless his heart, you know, he was dealing with some anxiety and depression. Been there. It's not a great thing to deal with. But glad that he's back. Let's get into some news. Some, recent news updates. Obviously, Dallas Goedert activated off the COVID list, so that's good. He's going to be playing on Sunday against the Las Vegas Raiders. And I got to be honest with you, I was looking forward to seeing I was looking forward to the possibility of seeing Tyree Jackson take that start, or maybe even Jack Stoll. But it looks like Dallas Goedert is going to be making that start, and Tyree Jackson just might be getting the second string behind him. Here's what I believe. And I've been thinking about this a lot. I gotta tell you, we saw different packages for Dallas Goedert in the preseason than what we saw from Zach Ertz. We saw packages specifically for Tyree Jackson in the preseason. And we saw Tyree Jackson have a pretty decent preseason. I mean, he impressed a lot of people. He impressed to the point where Howie Roseman had no problem challenging Dallas Goedert to earn the contract before the end of the year. Had no problem doing it, and I have no problem with Howie Roseman doing it. Here's one of the things. I'm not one of these people that are going to go out there and say, "Oh yeah, we got to go ahead and we got to re-sign Dallas Goedert as quickly as possible, as quickly as humanly possible." I'm not on that bandwagon. I'm just not. I'm just not. I'm more excited, honestly, about the development and the potential of Tyree Jackson than I am about giving Dallas Goedert what we'd have to give him if we were to go ahead and re-sign him. Dallas Goedert is going to request Hunter Henry money, Darren Waller money. And I don't think that people are thinking that. I mean, I don't think people are remembering that. I don't think fans are remembering that that's what he's going to garner. That's what he's going to request and bring in. And obviously, contract talks have come to a halt as Dallas Goedert has gone ahead and said publicly. And yes, did Howie Roseman come out and challenge him publicly? Yes, he did. Why? Because Dallas Goedert came out and said contract talks have came to a halt. He doesn't understand why. And how did he do it? He did it publicly. That's not something that you do. It's not something that you do. Really. It's not something that you do. Here's what I do think. They do need to get the run game going. They do need to get the run game going. Honestly, I still believe that they should bring up Jordan Howard. I don't understand why. I honestly still believe this. I still believe that is a Howie Roseman decision at the end of the day. Which leads me to think this, honestly. We know that they like Miles Sanders. They do like Miles Sanders, regardless of how often he's getting the ball. Honestly, I really do think it's a Jalen Hurts thing. I really do. The lack of the running game, I think it's a Jalen Hurts thing. I don't think it has anything to do with Nick Sirianni. Because here's the thing. Shane Steichen is our offensive coordinator, was the offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers, was accused of running the ball too much when he was the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. So those guys spend all week trying to come up with a game plan. And look, that's just not how things work. You don't abandon the run game when you got a run screen minded offensive coordinator in the same bill in your coaching staff. Look, they run the RPO. That's giving Jalen Hurts the responsibility of deciding whether it is a run or a pass. And honestly, it's a 3-option play. Jalen Hurts has the opportunity to take it, or he has the opportunity to give it to Miles Sanders. If he doesn't give it to Miles Sanders, then it becomes either a pass play or Jalen Hurts is going to take it. And here is what we know about Jalen Hurts. Is he's not staying in the pocket long enough to see things develop. But what are we seeing on the All-22s? What are we seeing on the game reviews? What are we seeing on the game tape after the games? Guys are getting open. Wide receivers are getting open in Nick Sirianni's scheme. It's one of the biggest things we've been complaining about over the last few years when Doug Peterson was head coach. Guys just aren't getting open. Oh, but then we had the savior in Greg Ward. Greg Ward came off the practice squad and could finally get open for Carson Wentz. Nobody else. Da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Well, guys are getting open now. And the quarterback's just not hitting him. Or the quarterback's just not staying in the pocket long enough. He's looking at his first read. If his first read's not there, he's taking off. And that's not how you play the quarterback position. It's not how you play the quarterback position. Unfortunately, Jalen Hurts is not Lamar Jackson. And this isn't an episode about hating on Jalen Hurts. This is just about, bringing up the facts. But again, this is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles, live here with you on this Thursday evening. What do we got to do to turn this around? Can we still turn it around is the question. Are we going to be sellers or are we going to be buyers at the trade deadline? Are we going to be both? I mean, Zach Ertz just got traded to the Cardinals. Obviously, we've talked about that already. We got rookie Tay Gowan back in return, along with a 5th-round pick from the Arizona Cardinals. It's going to be a late 5th-round pick because Arizona Cardinals are steamrolling the NFL right now, and everybody knows that. Kudos to them. Doesn't look like they're slowing down anytime soon. Really do look like a Super Bowl contender. They really do. They really, really do. And we have some other questions to get into. Is Carson Wentz going to win more games in Indy this year than the Eagles are going to win? Yeah, he is. He is. Are the Colts better than the Eagles? Yes, the Colts are better than the Eagles. On Bleacher Report, there's been the weekly graphic of, the playoff bound, the I'm not sure teams, the mediocre teams, the bad teams, and bottom of the barrel, basically. And the Eagles are listed as mediocre, and Colts were listed as bad. I can guarantee you that if the Colts went up against the Eagles, my team, they would win. Carson Wentz would find a way to destroy the secondary, and Jonathan Taylor would absolutely destroy the run defense. My hope is that they find a way to get better at stopping the run. And then there was the question put out in Bleacher Report this week. Well, why didn't the Eagles ask for Jordan Hicks in return for Zach Ertz? Well, maybe they did. And maybe they didn't. And I can tell you why they didn't. Well, Jordan Hicks is an older guy, and the Eagles are looking for a rebuild. It's not just a transitional year. It's a complete rebuild. It's a complete rebuild. It is. Deshaun Watson rumors are back up and running at full speed. Miami Dolphins. Jay Glazer reported that something might get done this week between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans. No, I don't think he's going to go to the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins don't have anything to trade. The Miami Dolphins don't have anything to trade the Houston Texans for Deshaun Watson. The Philadelphia Eagles have Miami's 1st-round pick. And there was another report that came out after that shortly that the Eagles had recently talked about trading for Deshaun Watson again and a couple other teams here and there. Maybe it will happen after all. Maybe it will happen after all. We've got less than 2 weeks. I believe it's less than 2 weeks to the trade deadline. Maybe Jalen has only one more game left on his prove-it deal that nobody can see, but had been established in the minds of Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. Maybe he only has one more game. And maybe this game, this week, is that game. I can tell you right now. I mean, I want Jalen Hurts to succeed. I want him to succeed. As far as leadership qualities are concerned, I think he has everything needed to be a franchise quarterback. Leadership qualities, personality, but can he get the job done on game day on the field? And the answer to that is so far he cannot. So far he can't. And I get it. Technically, on a game scale, he hasn't played a full season yet. He's still in his rookie season, technically. It's been 10 games. Okay? The dude's not even able to read his second or third reads. He's not able to hit guys over the middle of the field. And maybe that will change with the emergence of Dallas Goedert as the starter. Sometimes those types of things can be the wonder maker. Can be the difference. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. He's more athletic than Zach Ertz. But Zach Ertz would get open for you every time. Every time. But, here are some of the faults. He's not hitting his second or third read because he's not staying in the pocket long enough. He's inaccurate throwing to his left. It's not what you want. He's overshooting guys down the field. He's releasing the ball way too late when he should be releasing the ball right as the guys are coming out of their breaks. He's just not playing well. He's just not playing well. No matter which way you want to slice it, he's just not. So, there was a report that came out and said Nick Sirianni's not on the hot seat, not even close. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I could go with that. I could believe that. Because how do we know that he's not limited because of the limitations of Jalen Hurts? How do we know? How do we know? I have to remember they expected Carson Wentz to be here. Now, I am not saying that Carson should be the guy. Not saying that. Not going to go back down that road. But it needs to be somebody. It needs to be somebody who could be more accurate. It needs to be somebody who can hit the receivers on a more consistent level. It needs to be somebody who can hit the second, the third read. Not somebody who's going to see that the first read's not open and then just take off. Toxic Falcons, welcome to the chat, my man. Welcome to the chat. Happy Thursday evening, my friend. I wish you joined from the very beginning of the stream. I feel like it's been a good one so far. Yeah, I mean, if they want to turn things around, they got to turn things around, and they got to start now, and they got to start running the ball. And I'm not ready to put the entire blame on Nick Sirianni for running the ball. I'm really not. I'm for not running the ball. I'm really not. I think it's the limitations of Jalen Hurts, and that's that. Shane Steichen is a run-oriented offensive mind. run-oriented, screen-oriented, and screen-oriented is a extension of the run game. It is. So you can basically categorize them as run-oriented if you wanted to. Docs Falcon says, good one so far. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's get back to this, though. Are Eagles going to be buyers or sellers at the trade deadline? Yeah, they could be both. Here's the only thing. If the Eagles were going to buy, if they were going to buy and they were going to trade for some players, I would want them to trade for, younger players. I don't want any more vets coming in. This season is not going to be, if you want my honest opinion, the only way that the season is going to be saved is by the vets that we already have on this team, not by vets that need to be traded into Philadelphia. And so therefore, if we're going to trade for anybody, I don't want to trade for any vets. And by vets, I mean guys over 28 and over. 24 and over, or 22 and over is fine. 22 and over is fine. 22, between 22 and 28, I'm okay with. Or 27. And honestly, a couple guys that I'm looking at are the safety from the Houston Texans, Rodney Johnson, I think his name is, or safety Marcus May from the New York Jets, who's going to cost a little bit more, but rumor has it, and I'm not talking about the Adele song. It is great. It's a great song. I'm talking about, rumor has it, Marcus May is on the trade block. So it'd be a great addition. They need to start looking to the future, a future without Rodney McLeod. Anthony Harris is still young. So, Anthony Harris is still like 28, 29. So that's okay. I'm fine with him. But Rodney McLeod is about 32, 33 now. And, you're probably going to trade. You're probably going to find a way to get rid of Fletcher Cox next season anyway. If he's not moved at the trade deadline, and that sounds like a real possibility. And Brandon Graham, Brandon Graham's hurt right now. Brandon Graham, but he could get moved after the season. Docs Falcon says, I don't see running guys winning anything unless you run the damn ball. Yeah. Look, here's the thing. I think the coaches know that, and I think the coaches want to do that. I don't think the lack of running it has to do with Nick Sirianni. I really don't anymore. I once thought that, but I don't think that. It is our offense right now is RPO oriented, and I don't think that's because that's the offense that Nick Sirianni wants to run. I don't think we're running the offense that Nick Sirianni had envisioned in his mind. I think he's doing it because of the limitations of Jalen Hurts, and I think everybody in the organization knows that Jalen Hurts is limited, and this is what Jalen Hurts can run. The RPO, however, gives Jalen Hurts the ability to give the ball to the running back, and Jalen Hurts is not doing that. Jalen Hurts is not reading when it's the right time to give the ball to Miles Sanders. So, with that said, what do you have to say to that? It's Miles Sanders. Like he's not like a power running. He's not like a power running back. He's not like a strong eye running back. He's a shifty motherfucker. You can do the RPO with Miles Sanders and be fine with it. You know what I mean? Tox Falcon says, could you trade for Tua? No. Tua and Jalen are the same person. Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Hurts are the same freaking person. The difference is that Jalen Hurts has a knack for finding the end zone more than Tua does. That's the difference. That's the difference. And the Dolphins are not going to get Deshaun Watson. I don't know where that's coming from. The Dolphins don't even have their first round pick this year. They don't even have the Eagles have their first round pick. So, I mean, yeah, it was reported that by Jay Glazer, who, by the way, throws out any media nugget that he possibly can, just to get attention. It was Jay Glazer who said, yeah, the trade between the Houston Texans and the Dolphins could go down this week. When the truth of the matter is that that's probably not going to happen. About a few hours later on that same day, other more reputable sources put out other articles saying that the Eagles and other teams have also recently resumed conversations with the Texans about Deshaun Watson. And the Eagles have the Dolphins' first-round pick. So the truth of the matter is I do think Deshaun Watson's going to get traded before the trade deadline. However, that's less than 2 weeks away. And so my point is this: I think that Jalen Hurts only has one game left. Is it possible that Jalen Hurts has one game left on this prove it deal that is invisible but exists in the minds of Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie? Yeah, it's very, very possible. It's very, very possible that this Eagles Raiders game could be the very last game for Jalen Hurts on his prove it deal. And I said this at the beginning of the season. I said I don't think it's going to be the whole. I don't think he's going to even get the whole season for him to be able to prove himself. I really don't. I think they're going to know whether or not he's whether he's the franchise guy in less than half the season. And lo and behold, reports are starting to come out. People know, man. People know. And you could tell by Jalen Hurts' recent press conference, he knows. He knows. He knows he's doing bad. He knows he's not playing to franchise quarterback level. He knows that. But the thing is that he hasn't been able to do anything about it. Talks Falcons says Jalen won't make it long if he keeps running the ball. Jalen won't make it long if he keeps throwing inaccurate. Jalen won't make it long if he keeps overthrowing guys who are wide open. That's the thing is why that's why I've decided not to blame Nick Sirianni, because wide receivers are getting open in Nick Sirianni's scheme. Wide receivers are getting wide open in Nick Sirianni's scheme. Devontae Smith is getting wide open almost on every single play. Bequez Watkins is getting open. Bequez Watkins has really turned into a badass. They both should have more yards than they do. Jalen Reagor should have more yards than he does. Talks Falcon says, I know this is off topic, but did you hear about Alec Baldwin? No, what happened to Alec Baldwin? And that's okay. You don't have to apologize for going off topic. You can always go off topic here. We can always go off topic here on the podcast of brotherly love. Just kidding. It's DB talking now. DB talking Birds. DB talking Philadelphia Eagles. What happened to Alec Baldwin? Oh, wow. Alec Baldwin discharged prop gun in incident that killed cinematographer, injured director, authorities say. Of his new movie Rust. The cinematographer of Rust was killed Thursday after star Alec Baldwin discharged a prop gun. According to investigators, it appears that the scene being filmed involved the use of a prop firearm when it was discharged. That's a release from the sheriff's office. Detectives are investigating how and what type of projectile was discharged. Wow. Yeah, he killed the cinematographer and accidentally injured the director. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I did not know that. I did not know that. Bye, Nor. Welcome to the chat, my man. Please like and subscribe. Have not had you in here before. Yeah, no, we were just talking football. He just had me bring up an off-topic convo. I hadn't heard about it. I didn't even know about it. So, Toxic Falcon says, "Can we say Derrick Henry should win MVP because he will be getting 2,000 yards again?" No, I'm not going to agree with that. Honestly, my front runner for MVP right now has got to be Kyler Murray, Mr. Kyler Murray. He's just taking the league by storm right now. He's got his Arizona Cardinals team, really high rolling, and they're steamrolling the NFL right now. And so, so far it doesn't look like anybody's been able to stop him, but we'll see how that goes. And Kyler Murray's playing at an unbelievable level. So I'm rolling with Kyler. But Binor says, "I'm going with Josh Allen, but Kyler is a great choice. Can't argue there." Yeah, another phenomenal great choice is Josh Allen. Yeah, no, Josh Allen's one of those quarterbacks. I absolutely love Josh Allen, just watching him develop over the last few seasons. And he just continues to get better and better and better. That's the awesome thing about Josh Allen. So I think both guys will definitely be up there. Both guys will definitely be up there when it comes to the MVP race at the end of the season. That's for darn sure. That is for darn sure. Tox Falcon says, "Come on, give the running back a chance, man." The thing is that it's hard to pick a running back because not many running backs win the MVP. That's the thing. It's usually a quarterback. But if there is a running back who deserves it, it should probably be Derrick Henry. I will say that. I guess he would be at the top of my list. Tox Falcon says Derrick Henry is a beast. Yeah, of course he's a beast. I think there's no argument here on that. Derrick Henry is a beast. Jonathan Taylor is also having a phenomenal season as well for the Indianapolis Colts. So can't deny that. Can't deny that there. I think I wish we could have these I wish we could have these conversations about Miles Sanders. You know what I mean? The only unfortunate thing is that the Eagles don't give him the ball that much. But he is like that looming monster beneath the shadows. It's like if you give the dude the ball, give the dude the ball and see what he does. Watch what he does. It's crazy to me because they started to give Miles Sanders the ball late in the fourth quarter, or not even late in the fourth quarter. It was towards the beginning of the fourth quarter against the Buccaneers, and they were able to finally move down the field again. They were able to get into the end zone on their very first offensive drive, and then they stalled out for 3 quarters until the very fourth quarter, where they started to run the fucking ball. You know what I mean? And then it looked a lot closer than it did on paper. It looked a lot closer on paper than it actually was. Like, I'm not going to deny that. Like, I'm very well aware that if the Bucks kept their foot on the gas, it probably would have been 40-22. Like, I'm not living in a fantasy world. Like, this isn't a Tim Burton movie. You know what I mean? But I will say that good things will happen when you decide to balance out your offense. Give Miles Sanders the ball. Philadelphia Eagles, give Miles Sanders the ball. He is your best playmaker on offense. You can write a letter to everybody and their moms, including everybody's grandmother. Miles Sanders is the best player on the Eagles' offensive lineup. Because Jalen Hurts is not the franchise quarterback. He's just not. He doesn't stay in the pocket long enough to read number 2 or number 3. If number 1's not open, he's off and running. And it makes no sense. Talks Falcons says, I also Derrick Henry will win MVP. I don't think so, man. I really don't. Honestly, you're going to hate me for saying this, but I honestly think like Tom could be up there again. TB could be up there again, and Josh Allen and Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is probably, Kyler Murray. I mean, Tom would probably be 3 if those were the 3 guys we're going with right now. But Tom's having a great season as well, so can't rule him out. Can never rule out the GOAT. Talks Falcon says 1 touch. Like, man, why? Well, I've already went over this. I have gone over it in my head enough times to say this. I don't blame Nick Sirianni anymore. I don't think it's the coach. I think it's what they have to deal with at the quarterback position. I think they're adjusting to the limitations of Jalen Hurts. That's what I think is going on. I mean, if you think about it, the Philadelphia Eagles had a huge role for Jordan Howard in the offseason planned. A huge role. And Jordan Howard got moved to the practice squad. They had a huge plan for Boston Scott. They had a huge plan for Miles Sanders. They had a huge plan for Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell, yeah, he's had a huge role as a rookie running back. He's had a huge role, but they're using him in that Nyheim Hines. But they had a huge role for Miles Sanders as well as the lead back. And all of a sudden that goes out the window. Why would that go out the window? Well, it's because you finally realize after a full training camp and watching your quarterback, who's supposed to be the lead guy, in the joint practices, show his limitations. And so guess what you got to do? You got to make adjustments. Here's the other thing too. We haven't had the starting lineup, the full starting lineup since week 1. Brandon Brooks went out after week 1. Isaac Samalu went out in week 2, and then in week 3, Lane Johnson didn't show up for personal matters. Thank God he's back now. It's an unfortunate thing that he missed the last 3 games due to depression and anxiety, but he's going to be back. So, coaching staff said they're going to make a decision on whether or not he's going to play on Sunday tomorrow. So we'll be looking forward to that. Maybe that's why too. Maybe that's another factor into all this, is Nick Sirianni being a rookie head coach, not having some of his stud offensive linemen out there, doesn't have faith in the running game. Maybe there's a little bit of that too. Is it all of it? No, I can't say that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not even going to go there, because every coach in their right mind knows that the offense, that the run game does counter a pass rush. It does. So does the screen game. But but it also balances out and turns in a good offense. It does. Helps you win ball games. Helps you take the time off the clock in the fourth quarter. Helps you protect leads. Pine Orange says, I know your Eagles have plagued with injuries, but other than that, what's the three biggest issues with your team? Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts not being able to Jalen Hurts not throwing in the middle of the field. Jalen Hurts overthrowing guys. Jalen Hurts not releasing the ball on time. Jalen Hurts not staying in the pocket long enough to see his second and third read develop. It all comes down to Jalen Hurts, at least on the offense anyway. And here's the thing too. I gotta continue to reiterate this about the run game is we are RPO centric right now because that is what Jalen Hurts can do. And what does the RPO mean? Well, where does the responsibility fall when you're running an RPO offense when it comes to the run game? Well, the responsibility falls on the quarterback. It's Jalen Hurts' responsibility to give the ball to Miles Sanders, to decide when to give the ball to Miles Sanders. And he's just not doing it. And yeah, you could say, well, Nick Sirianni could just call a run play. Yeah, he could, but it would take away from the strength of what Jalen can do. So the strength of what Jalen can do is full of defense and saying, am I going to run it or am I going to pass it? That's the strength. Let's just say it's just a pass option where he doesn't he decides to either keep it or pass it. But then you throw Miles Sanders in there, and then that's the third option. Here's the thing: is like if they don't believe if that's his strength to either run or pass, then of course Nick Sirianni is going to throw the RPO in there because it's going to add that extra layer. It's going to add that extra layer. The only thing is Jalen Hurts is not giving the ball to Miles Sanders, and so the RPO is not fooling defenses. So, yeah, the other issue is he's not the right quarterback for the future. He's just not. He's not a franchise guy. The Eagles don't have a franchise guy. The Eagles don't have the quarterback to run what Nick Sirianni wants to run. And there, I said it. If nobody else has said it yet, and I think other people have contemplated it, but they haven't said it, he doesn't have the quarterback to run what Nick Sirianni wants to run. I don't think Nick Sirianni had visions of running an offense that didn't have a non-existent run game. Are you kidding me? Look what they do in Indy with Jonathan Taylor. Look what they do with that guy. Shane Steichen, when he was the offensive coordinator for the Chargers, he was accused of running the ball too much. This is a matter of personnel. And on the defensive side of the ball, well, we got to be able to stop the run. They need guys. They need players. They need bigger players. They need linebackers who can actually blow somebody up, and they just don't have that. I'm tired of watching linebacker Alex Singleton get dragged 3 yards after each time he touches a ball carrier. Toxic Falcon says the Broncos lost to a team with 20 players injured. Yeah, they did. They did. Good for the Browns. Good for the Browns for getting a good win. Good for the Browns for getting a good win. Pinor says, do you think Hurts' issues are fixable with time? Or do you think his ceiling isn't high enough for improvement? I think they are fixable with time. I do. My thing is this. I'll go back and I'll say this. I want Jalen Hurts to succeed because here's the thing. I love everything that he possesses from a leadership quality standpoint. I think that goes unrivaled. And like I really like him. I like his personality. I think it's awesome. I think he is an awesome guy. Yeah, of course. I think his fault his flaws right now. I think that they're fixable with time. Obviously, you can work on mechanics. You can work on your eyes. You can work on your reads. You can work on these things. You can work on your delivery. You can work on your stance. You can work on, making improvements in all areas of the game. Tom Brady was notorious for that, by the way. Tom Brady was is notorious for that. And I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts is going to go out and be Tom Brady. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick for a reason. They didn't believe that he had the measurables. They didn't believe that he had the things to offer a team. Nobody did. So much so that he had to get drafted in the 6th round. The New England Patriots didn't think that they were getting the fucking GOAT in the 6th round. Jalen Hurts is a hard worker. And he needs to continue to work hard. But again, they need to make sure that he's working on the right things. He needs to work on the right things. He needs to focus on the right areas. You know what I mean? He needs to make sure that he's improving in the right areas. Because guys are getting open. Wide receivers are getting open in Nick Sirianni's scheme. They are. They're getting wide open. Devontae Smith is getting wide open almost every single time. Yeah, is Devontae Smith a badass? Yeah, Devontae Smith is a badass. And I'm glad that the Eagles got him with the 10th overall pick. Bequez Watkins, second-year wide receiver Bequez Watkins, has taken a huge jump from year 1 to year 2, and he is getting open almost all the time now. And they need to include him more in the offensive scheme. They do, because he's I'm pretty sure he's still recorded the fastest time on field so far this season. So, and I think that there's a couple other stats that are mind-blowing, that he's kind of highly ranked in among other players on the field in this season. So, and Jalen Reagor is doing a better job of getting open. Jalen Reagor had a few drops against the Bucs. Jalen Reagor continues to have his flaws, but Jalen Hurts needs to make sure he hits these guys when they're open. That is the franchise quarterback's job. Be the playmaker, hit the guys, be the responsible. So here's the thing. Franchise quarterback needs to be the responsible playmaker. The responsible playmaker. That means that you are the playmaker at the right time, in the right moment, when it counts, when it matters, when it needs to happen. For example, Odell Beckham Jr., he's a playmaker. But just playmakers can be inconsistent. They call 3 plays up for Deshaun Jackson, right? And Deshaun Jackson gets 95 yards, but it's 3 plays. Playmaker. Quarterbacks, franchise quarterbacks need to be responsible playmakers. Consistent, right time, when it counts, when it matters. That's it. So yeah, here's getting back to your question. I think he can improve with time. However, I don't think he has time. Based off of me making the assumption on Howie Roseman, general manager Howie Roseman, and owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, Jeffrey Lurie's measuring stick for this guy. Because I think they're close. Because the trade deadline's coming up. And the Deshaun Watson shit's starting to pop back up. And it is starting to pop back up. As much as I don't want to talk about it, it is starting to pop back up. And, there were many reports and many sources and many, Philadelphia Eagles sports journalists, that have gone on in interviews with other podcasters saying the Deshaun Watson thing was very real. Natalie Eganoff is one of them, who was on with Broads Media just recently, a couple weeks ago. And that's what she had to say. Trade deadline's coming up. Trade deadline's coming up. Pinor says if Hurts can't take a step up next season and eliminate 30% of his mistakes, I get rid of him. Leadership qualities are nice, but not progressing with execution makes it irrelevant for me. I agree. Hey, I agree with you 100%. And no, here's the thing. I don't think that they're going to entirely get rid of him. They don't have to. That's the thing. They don't have to get rid of him next season. They don't got to do that. They don't have to do that. They could literally trade for a franchise quarterback, or they could literally draft one in the draft. You know what I mean? And it could be a Sam Howell. It could be a Malik. What's his face? It could be out of Liberty, the quarterback out of Liberty. It could be Keaton Slovis out of USC. It could be any one of these guys. Carson Strong. But they don't have to get rid of Jalen Hurts. They don't have to get rid of Jalen Hurts in the offseason. They could just have him compete with the new guy that they bring in. Because Jalen Hurts is still going to be on his rookie deal. That simple. But guys, please like and subscribe. Talks Falcons, I know that you already are. Pinar, please like and subscribe and hit the notification button so that you guys can be notified anytime that I do come on and do go live. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. Thank you guys so much for joining in tonight. I was so happy with that conversation, and I will be back and live with you guys tomorrow because we got a lot to talk about before football weekend kicks off. And have a beautiful rest of your evening, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, one love, and go Birds, baby.